again, everyone. Welcome to the channel. I'm David from Apple Tech Talk, and today we're taking a look at Synology Shared Sync, an application included in Synology's Disk Station Manager that allows you to synchronize folders between two separate Synology NAS devices. To get started, we're going to open up our browser. We've already signed into DSM. As you can see, we have two Synology NASs. One is our DS218, the other is a DS1520, and what we're going to try and accomplish today is to synchronize a folder that exists on the 218 and synchronize it to the folder on the 1520. And if we look at File Station, you can see that we have a folder called Documents. There are a couple of folders within that share and a file. We're going to go over to the 1520, and you can see that that share of documents does not exist. And what we want to do is be able to replicate those two folders so that they constantly have the same information. And to do that, the first thing we're going to do is go into Control Panel. This uses the rsync functionality, and rsync is built into DSM. We're going to open up the Control Panel File Services, go to the rsync tab, and simply enable rsync services. You can see that these settings have been applied, and DSM will take care of all of the back-end operations necessary to make this work. So we're going to go into Control Panel, click on Shared Folder Sync, and you can see nothing is set up. The first thing we want to do is create a task. So we are going to click on the task list and click on the Create button, and this is now going to step us through. We want to give our task a name, and since we're going to be syncing the document share, we're going to call this document share. Click the Next button. Now it's asking which folder or shares do we want to sync. We could easily just click all, but for this demonstration, we're just going to click Documents and click Next. We need to confirm the terms and conditions. That's at the bottom of the screen, so it will prompt you if you get to do that. Now you want to tell the application where to sync to, and if we click on that down arrow, it's going to go out into our network and find any Synology NASs that are available. And as you can see, it found the DS1520, and it has the IP address, so we're going to select that. And now we're going to enter a user ID and password on the 1520. This is so that the 218 can communicate with a valid user on the 1520. So we are going to type in the ID. We're going to enter the password. We're going to leave the connection timeout as it is. There are some other options if you want to encrypt your transfer. We're not going to do that since we know where the NAS is. We test the connection. We see that it succeeded, so the two NAS devices are talking to each other. If you're on a Mac, it's going to ask you if you want to save that password. We don't need to do that right now. Now you have some options. You can either schedule a sync so that it syncs at a particular time or particular days. We actually want to always have these folders in sync, so we are going to click on Run Sync on Modification. And what that means is anytime we add or delete something to the Documents folder on the 218, it will immediately sync to the 1520. If you click Next, you get a quick summary of what is going on, and if we apply this, it is going to now automatically start syncing. And you can see under status it says it's syncing. There is no last result because this is our first sync, and you're watching this in real time, so you're going to see just how long it takes to sync this folder. And as you can see, it's already finished. It says that the status is idle, and that we have a successful last sync. So we're going to close that. And now we're going to go to the 1520. We're going to go back into File Station, and as you can see, all of our folders are there. And if we go into one of the folders, you can see all the subfolders and all the documents. And this took really just a couple of seconds. And this folder looks identical to what we have on the 218. You'll also see that there's a new share called Net Backup. That is actually created automatically when you invoke the rsync service in Control Panel. It's an empty share, and you can just leave it there. It's not really taking up any space, but it is something that DSM creates automatically when you invoke the rsync service. We're now going to close out of this and go back into our 218, and we're going to open up File Station, and just for this demonstration, we're going to add that file to our documents share, and you can see that it's been uploaded and added. And now if we go back to the 1520, we will see that in the documents that folder now exists. So it's almost instantaneous that these files are being copied over. And what this means is that if you delete a file from your primary server, you have to remember that it will also be deleted from your shared server. So this is not necessarily a backup. This is more of a failover situation, or the ability to recover all of your files and folders which you have on a separate NAS. You want to remember that there is still hyper backup available to do the actual backup of your primary NAS. So that's a look at Synology's Shared Folder Sync. It is an included service within Disk Station Manager, and another great way to protect your data on a Synology NAS. We hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please consider hitting that like button, and don't forget to subscribe and ring that bell so that you'll be notified when we post more videos. This is David from Apple Tech Talk. Thanks for watching.